Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk with me, your host, Pop. And on this stream, we take a look at life through an industrial point of view. We're going to look and see what's going on in the trades out there. Whether there's, are they fixing the shortages? Are they also going to build more factories? Are they going to shut more down? Are people on strike? Are people getting back to work? We'll look at all sorts of that stuff like that. We'll also have a look at some of the work site fatalities and go over what has gone wrong and maybe see if that'll help us work safe as well. We can learn from other people's mistakes. And then we'll look at we'll go to everybody's favorite portion of the program, and that will be picture time. And, got some pictures to share with you guys today. But before we get to the news of the week, I want to say hello to you, B17. How you doing? Long time no see. And just popping into the chat, I see there, Fabric Folds. Hey, Fabric, I have a story that pertains to you that I found. So buckle up and get ready for that. That'll happen after we get through the news here. I just want to see some of these titles here. It got down to -7C down here, so you're freezing. Let me check. What was it today for me? During the day. Yeah, it was about -16 here. Right now it's -18, but it was -16 when I left work today. So, yeah, -7. That's getting cold, all right. Especially if it's a humid cold, because then you're really feeling it. But let's see what's going on here. We'll go to Plant Magazine and see what they are writing about today. First thing I see here, a tool for the future of automation. I'm wondering, what is that tool going to be? Is it going to be AI? That's a warm day for Canadians. Well, at least, you can stay out in it a bit longer. You're not inclined to, but, you can deal with it. Let you guess, a female veterinarian couldn't find her arm condom and raw dog. I don't know. All I saw was something that mentioned veterinarian, and I'm like, oh, I know a guy like that. Let's have a look here, though. The web-based orchestration suite tool from So Eurodrive is an on-demand suite that simplifies industrial automation by enabling software to be deployed, managed, and updated via a single platform. Combines cloud-based engineering environments, secure remote access to AI-supported functions in a flexible solution. Now the Brussels-based drive and automation specialist is taking another step forward in collaboration with its partner company, Software Defined Automation. Orchestration Suite is being further developed to make it even more transparent and powerful for users. It also to me, it sounds like they're going to make it so it's a subscription, so your equipment doesn't run unless you subscribe to them. So I would be very careful of adopting anything like this from this scumbag company. You don't get that joke? You don't know if you want to? Yeah, it's fair enough, B17. Hey, what's up? Everybody's favorite kaiju, Godzillionaire. How you doing, buddy? The partnership with SDA allows us to coordinate the workflows of OEM development and end customer operations across the entire automation cycle, thereby transferring principles from the IT world directly into the installed OT or operational technology, explains Dr. Hans Krattenmeiker, Chief Innovation Officer at So Eurodrive. Our customers benefit from simplified software provisioning for PLCs, robots, and drives, centralized versioning and availability of updates and backups, all of which is manufactured independent, secure, and scalable via the cloud. Oh yeah, there's that word again, the cloud. Yeah, all the cloud is just a computer or a server somewhere else. That's all it is. It's stupid that they call it the cloud. It's diabolical, yeah. What I watch in my spare time is none of your concern. The Movie C Drive, an automation platform from So Eurodrive, is fully integrated into the orchestration suite. This enables the orchestration suite to provide consistent web-based access to engineering tools such as MovaSuite and Motion Studio in order to efficiently control and automate the configuration, commissioning, and operation of Movie C components. I don't like this, guys. This isn't good. You shouldn't have your stuff controlled over the web. There's no need. Thanks to open interfaces, third-party tools can be seamlessly integrated. Engineers can work directly in the browser without having to install local software, a real efficiency gain. But cloud saved Midgar from Sephiroth. Yes, this is true. The cloud, how does it work, though? That's the thing. Cloud pisses your friends off when we play Smash. Yeah, there you go. So you have some cheap moves or what? The powerful platform enables fine-grained access control for users, groups, devices, and projects, and supports the secure remote provisioning of various automation software. Automated backup and recovery processes minimize downtime, while transparent version tracking across different PLC providers ensures maximum traceability. AI-powered features automatically document PLC code and translate it into human-readable language. In addition, individual pipeline automatic executable task lists can be configured for automated updates and backups of entire device fleets, including control software setups and firmware. What the hell does a right-angle gearbox need anything electric, much less Wi-Fi? Yes, exactly, Godzilla. Yes. I've done my fair share of work on So Eurodrives, and I dislike them so much. They have integrated the drive gear on the motor, meaning that they've machined the gear into the shaft of the motor. So you can't, if your gear wears out, you can't just pull off the old gear and put on a new one. They machined it right into the motor shaft. You have to buy a whole new motor. That's disgusting. Things like that is why you should never buy So Eurodrive. Our vision at ACDA is to turn factories into software systems. Okay, well, that's a big warning sign right there. When a guy says that when it says that their vision is to turn factories into software systems, that's a big red flag. Don't, and I repeat, do not go with what this guy is selling. Based in Boston, U.S., Garching near Munich. The collaboration with So Eurodrive shows how the vision has become reality. The intuitive orchestration suite is a change driver. It works independently of systems, locations, and manufacturers, simplifies the lifecycle management of all automation resources, strengthens cybersecurity in industrial environments, and supports the path to software-defined factory. Together with So Eurodrive as our partner, we're creating next-level automation software of tomorrow today. Don't do it. Just don't. Don't even bother with this. This is a stupid thing to do. You should dislike them. They are European. Hooking industrial machinery to Skynet. What could go wrong? Yeah, exactly. Remember, Europeans don't actually design for maintenance. They honestly believe you should never work on their stuff ever. I believe that. We received some German equipment the one time, and the fella came over from Germany, and he's just tried to rip us a new one because we didn't alter the designs or whatever. We didn't alter as we were putting it together. Because I'm like, no, man, I'm not screwing around with warranty. I'm not going to start altering and drilling holes in different places. So, you can freak out all you want. And that's why we whooped the Jerry's in World War II, yeah. You love all the investor slop words in this article, and that's all they are. Word salad. The federal government launches a regional defense investment initiative. Let's see what the government is wasting our taxpayer dollars on now. On December 5th at the Downsview Aerospace Innovation and Research Hub in Toronto, the Honorable Evan Solomon, Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation. Are you serious? They have a Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation? And the minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario announced that the Regional Defence Investment Initiative is now open in Southern Ontario. RD2 or RDII is a $357 million initiative delivered by Canada's regional development agencies, which aims to accelerate the integration of businesses and regional ecosystems into domestic and international defense supply chains while increasing their industrial and innovation capacity. This includes investment in businesses whose products and services are dual use or who seek to pivot their activities to supply the defense sector. FedDev Ontario's allocation through this national initiative is $94 million. In addition, FedDev Ontario is reportedly allocating additional $106 million from existing resources to total nearly $200 million in defense support. Southern Ontario is reportedly home to more than 900 defense-capable organizations. European women have the same philosophy on personal hygiene. It's like they buy soap by the milligram. If you're bored, Google the H&K G11 prototype rifle, Kraut Space Magic, supposedly a war battle rifle with a grandfather clock inside. Huh? Caseless cartridges. Huh. Yeah, that still gets me that they've got a minister of artificial intelligence and digital innovation. I wish that we didn't. Yeah, I'm Canadian. Anything past bolt action is sorcery up there. It's magic, I tell you. He's a witch. So much for that. Here's this one here. This one should alarm us all, I think. China's trade surplus tops $1 trillion as its exports surge. That's not good. We don't want their exports to surge, do we? China's exports rebounded in November after an unexpected contraction the previous month, pushing its trade surplus past $1 trillion for the first time, according to data released on Monday. Exports climbed 5.9% from a year earlier in November, while imports rose just under 2%. The customs data released on Monday also showed that shipments to the U.S. dropped nearly 29% year over year. But as trade with the U.S. weakens, China is diversifying its export markets throughout Southeast Asia, Africa, Europe, and Latin America. China's exports had contracted just over 1% in October. November's worldwide exports of $330 billion exceeded economists' estimates, and imports totaled $218 billion for the month. The nearly $1 trillion trade surplus for the first 11 months of this year is a record high, surpassing $992 billion surplus for all of 2024 based on official data compiled by FactSet. A year-long trade truce between China and the U.S. was reached at a meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping in late October. In South Korea, the U.S. has lowered its tariffs on China, and China has promised to halt its export control related to rare earths. It's likely that November exports have yet to fully reflect the tariff cut, which should feed through in the coming months. ING Bank chief economist for Greater China, Lin Song, wrote in a report. China's factory activity contracted for an 8th straight month in November, according to an official survey, and economists said it was still early to determine whether there was a real rebound in external demand following the U.S.-China trade truce. It all went to pot once Temu opened a North American branch. Don't buy stuff from Temu. Ugh. China just goes to poor countries that rely on them, start pressuring them until they physically have to buy everything they have, or else they just stop exporting until they neither submit or starve. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. With exports still going strong, economists generally expect China to meet its target of around 5% annual growth for this year. Chinese leaders outlined a focus on advanced manufacturing for the next 5 years following a high-level meeting in October. It also highlighted the need to boost domestic consumption, which could help address trade imbalances. A meeting of the ruling Chinese Communist Party decision-making Politburo was held on Monday, led by Xi, to discuss economic plans for 2026, according to the Xinhua State News Agency. It said Chinese leaders reiterated a focus on pursuing progress while ensuring stability and oppressing human rights. I'm pretty sure that was in there too. That was probably the underlying message. Make sure we can use people as slaves and make sure their life is miserable and everything like that. So that's what they do. But they say that's the quiet part. They don't say that out loud, but you know they're thinking it. A readout from Xinhua said China needs to better coordinate its domestic economic work in the face of global trade struggles. Business investors are paying close attention to China annual Central Economic Work Conference, which is expected to take place later this month and could map out economic priorities for the next year in more details. You had a wrench from Temu, but the wife accidentally boiled it and evaporated. That's the quality right there, eh? Trade diversification will remain a long-term strategy for China to fight the trade war and manage external exigencies. What does exigencies mean? External exigencies. Using these, it's probably somebody using a word that they didn't even understand what it meant. The demands or requirements of a situation, an urgent situation. You could have just said the situation. A stable global trade environment is unlikely to last long as China-US relations remain in a stalemate despite their temporary trade truce. Still, some economists believe that China will continue to gain export market share in coming years. Morgan Stanley predicts by 2030, China's market share in global exports will reach 16%, up from about 15%. Fueled by its edge in advanced manufacturing and high-growth sectors such as electric vehicles, robotics, and slavery. Because that's what they do. They make sure people can just get by with slave wages, and they have billions of people there, so if somebody doesn't want to work, they've got the next person in line who does. And it seems like this was written by somebody from the Chinese Communist Party to make it sound like it's such a great place. China is not a great place. Don't fool yourselves. Don't fall for all the propaganda. China is terrible. You do not want to go there. You do not want anything to do with that government there. It's disgusting the way they treat their people, and I wish they would get overthrown, but it's whatever that is. It's only a wish. Despite persistent trade tensions, continued protectionism, and G20 economies taking up active industrial policies, we believe China will gain more share in the global goods export market, said Morgan Stanley chief economist Cheta Ayan. There you go. China has big trade surplus, not with the U.S. particularly, but with all the other countries. Accidentally boiling a wrench. They happens. Well, that's it for the news, fellas. I think let's move along here. Are they trying to create a plural of exigent? You mean it's a word, but it's out of context in that sentence? AI must have wrote that article. It sure seems like it, doesn't it? I read it as it's printed on. So if you hear me talking, putting words together and I stumble, it's because if AI writes it, it does not do proper grammar or anything like that. Like I say, I'm just reading it off the page. Anyways, let's get along to the next one. And because Fabric's here, let's go right to it. This is from High River Online. For those that you don't know, I'm pretty sure this is from the town that is in the very southern part of Alberta. There's a town there called High River. It suffered from flooding a few years back. And everybody's like, wow, how did this happen? The town's name was High River. How do you think it got that name? But people built their houses in a riverbed and then freaked out when it flooded. So, anyways, that's the story about High River. AI no right gooder. Yeah. There's a shortage of veterinarians. Is a growing concern. Doesn't matter where you are across the prairies, the veterinary shortage, especially large animal vets, is a key concern. It was a part of the discussion during the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba annual conference this week. Hugh Moran, Executive Director of the Manitoba Veterinary Medical Association, says rural and Indigenous communities across Manitoba are feeling the impact. Yeah, who would have guessed a town named High River would flood? That's right. Flooding in High River, and that's what get me too. It's like, what's the town's name? Oh, okay. You guys are surprised that the river overflowed there? Hey, it's Aris. How you doing, Aris? Good to see you. Going over a little bit of articles here about the veterinary shortage. It's like Malibu in California, wildfires and mudslides. Damn right we'll build for $10 million. Yep, Aris, he's all over the place. He's everywhere you want to be. He's on Kick. He's on Rumble. He's on Twitch. He is all over. The rural shortage is hitting the livestock sector. Moran said that since he assumed his role in August, he's become increasingly aware of how acute the shortage is across Manitoba, particularly outside Winnipeg. It's been challenging the last number of years in Manitoba and other provinces as well. He noted that while the shortage is most severe in rural and northern, including Indigenous communities across the board, even in the cities, difficulties exist with recruiting, retaining, and educating veterinarians. With the increase in family pets, some veterinary graduates are staying in urban areas and small animal clinics because it's a larger center, involves less travel, and the animals can be more manageable. As a result, fewer vets are entering or staying in large animal or mixed animal practices, leaving farms, ranches, and remote communities with limited access to veterinary care. There was a stabbing in Shanksville. I don't believe it. Yeah. Hide the story. Mrs. Fabric wants to move to Alberta. Come on over. Fabric just thought he'd get to retire someday. Yep. Manitoba Agriculture has formed a working group to review veterinary service districts. Moran said the MVMA's incoming president, Kerry Ray Miller, is a part of that working group. He says we need to look at various options for increasing licensing and training supports, internationally educated veterinarians, to expanding the role of registered veterinary technologists, and find ways to encourage young people, particularly those with agricultural or rural backgrounds, to pursue careers in veterinary medicine. Moran acknowledged the magnitude of the challenge, especially for farmers and ranchers who depend on timely vet services for their livestock. He notes there's an estimated 400 and some veterinarians registered with the association and about 150 clinics across Manitoba. He said, when you start to look, that number, that's in the rural. I think it's pretty clear it's not enough. Moran talked about the need to increase education and encourage people to look at their career in veterinary medicine. He highlighted the veterinary technology course at Red River College or the veterinary program at Western College of Veterinary Medicine. They're trying to get you help there, Fabric. It's a growing concern even here in Canada, and it looks like this is just from Manitoba, but it's probably around here as well. Doesn't Mrs. Fabric know you'd lose 45% of what you to taxes in Canada? It's Godzilla. It's closer to 27%. That's just income taxes, 27%. Anyways, hopefully they get some more veterinarians. We got to put the word out that we need large breed veterinarians. Get the young kids interested. Here's one from Presswire by Newsmatics. It's a shortage continent-wide. You didn't realize it was so widespread. Yeah. Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? Not just in Wyoming, your area. It's going to be all across any rural areas, the prairies, the interior of British Columbia, I'm sure northern Ontario, maybe even in Quebec, eh? Large breed vets for all those feminine. Yeah. I don't know if you handle the two-legged large breeds. All right, let's have a look at this one. New study reveals a quarter of people are considering retraining in the skilled trades. Well, I've yet to see that. I hope it happens. You'll be working till you're 100. Oh no! You need some interns fabric. New research shows a rise in the popularity of skilled trades as a career choice, as the threat of AI concerns workers, and 32% report career dissatisfaction. Toronto, Canada. A new report released today by homestars.com shows that nearly a quarter of people are considering retraining in the skilled trade sector. A fear around AI affecting jobs rises and job dissatisfaction grows. Okay, these two things here are the same sentence. They just wrote it again. Quebec needs the vets because doctors can't treat the animals that live there. You do not? They can't make you? Homestars.com, the reliable way to hire tradespeople, or tradesmen, has been a long-standing champion of the trades as a career choice. After conducting a study last year on attitudes around the trades as a vocation, it ran a further survey this month to ascertain whether attitudes were beginning to change. The results are encouraging. While 23% of surveyed individuals stated they had considered retraining as a plumber, electrician, or other skilled tradesman, in the younger demographic, this rose to 34%. The industry has historically struggled to recruit women, and while female respondents were still slightly less likely to consider the trades than male respondents, a promising 15% said they considered retraining in the sector. Don't force them. Let them go. Let them come if they want, but don't force them to go into it. You wonder what it would take to expand your business into Canada? You're more than willing to swear an oath to Wayne Gretzky? Ah, yes. Good old number 99. If you never got a chance to watch, and Fabric, I'm sure you're old enough to have seen him play, it was unbelievable watching him play. Just unreal player. Once in a lifetime. The vast majority of Canadians knew that the skill shortage was an issue, with 70% agreeing there was a known shortage. Okay, so people know about it. However, this was less well known among 18 to 34-year-olds, with 62% stating they were aware. That's still pretty high. That's more than half still. Nearly a third of people stated that they were not satisfied with their current job roles. This rose to 35 in the 18 to 34-year-old group, a demographic that was also most concerned about AI replacing their jobs. The rise of AI in many industries has shone a positive spotlight on skilled trades, which cannot be replaced in the same way and therefore can offer longevity. Where other careers may be threatened, AI was revealed as a big concern for many Canadians when it came to their current careers. The study showed that 50% of men and 46% of women were worried about the impact AI would have on their careers. Canadians in Alberta and Quebec were the most concerned about this problem, with nearly half of respondents in both regions stating they had concerns about how AI would affect their current roles. This concern, however, grew further when people considered the impact AI might have on their future careers. Nearly half of respondents were worried about how AI would affect their future career opportunities, and this rose to 48% for those aged 18 to 34. Colin McGrory from homestars.com said the fact that so many people were considering retraining into skilled trades was very encouraging news. We've long been saying that a career in the trades is a great choice for young people. Hey, I've been saying that too, If you guys You got to tune in to Trades Talk on Tuesday night to hear Pop talk about this stuff. Send the young people over. Flexible working hours, training on the job, lots of opportunities to be self-employed are just some of the benefits that we see tradesmen enjoy every day. Our new research suggests that more people are now considering the skilled trades as a great option for their careers. However, we continue to call on government schools and colleges to champion industry to young adults. They are not going to do that. Colleges will not, or universities will not champion or say anything about the skilled trades because that means they lose tuition. So that's not going to happen. I don't see that. You saw a couple live? That man made Harry Potter look like a muggle. That's awesome, Fabric. You see Ovechkin beat Gretzky's all-time goal record. Nothing against Ovechkin, but it's a different game. These days, 4 goals per game back-to-back then was rarity. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Godzilla. Yep. Tune in on Tuesday to hear Pop shit on the Canadian government for 3 hours. Oh, does it always sound like that? I mean, I don't like them, but it's not for the whole 3 hours. And there we go. That's it. That's all that says that. New study. A quarter of people are considering retraining and skill, and it's never too late. I always say this. It's never too late. I don't care how old you are. You can always train in the skilled trades. It's no matter what. There's so many of them out there. So many trades jobs. There's like 140. You can definitely find one that will suit you and you will enjoy, and it'll be a treat just to learn and to do your schooling and get your journeyman's ticket. That's all there is to it. Okay, one more. JLG is helping students turn technical training into paychecks. JLG are those guys that build the aerial platforms and the zoom booms or telehandlers. They build all sorts of stuff. You get them from all the rental places. In case you don't know, where is that? There it is. JLG. JLG Industries. They manufacture a lot of your heavy equipment. Boom lifts, scissor lifts, telehandlers, non-powered eco lifts, vertical lifts, stock pickers. They are mostly known for their boom lifts, though. Like that. And I've operated the articulating, the telescopic. This mast lift, not from JLG, but a different one like that. It just goes straight up, that's all. Jiggle Industries, there you go. Lots of jiggle physics here. They now have hybrid ones, so it's going to be probably diesel electric. Which is good because you can use them inside without having to worry about getting carbon monoxide poisoning. So that's good. The electric ones are good. I've mostly used the 600 series of lifts. They're diesel powered and they're called the 600 series because they go 60 feet up. Yeah, maximum platform height 60 feet. And let me tell you, when you're up there, you realize it's scissor lifts. Nice to make something for the LGBT. Yeah, the good old scissoring. But let's see what they're doing. We know what they make. Let's see what they're doing. JLG Industries is partnering with schools and industry organizations to address skilled labor shortages and workforce development. Through partnerships with high schools, technical colleges, and trade associations, the company is helping students discover careers in the trades while giving current workers opportunities to advance their craft, according to a community announcement. Yeah, I got to electric to move them around when they're in the way, diesel for when you actually need them. Yeah. Or, when it's cold out. You're not going to drive your electric one outside in the cold. Battery's going to get die in a hurry. So you'll use your diesel and you'll just leave it run. That's what you do when it's cold out. You start your equipment, if it's diesel, and you just let it run and you just fill it up as it's running. Diesel needs compression to ignite, so it's not going to be like gas where if it hits a hot surface, it's going to catch on fire. So diesel's a little safer to fill things up when they're running. The result is a growing community of homegrown welders, painters, assemblers, manufacturing and robotics engineers, maintenance professionals, service technicians, and equipment operators. In America today, there are more students who want hands-on technical education than there are classroom seats available, said Andy Teklovsky, Chief Operating Officer at JLG, said in an announcement. We saw an opportunity not to just hire talent, but to help create it, one student, one trainee, and one craft professional at a time. These programs give people a pathway to build a career, earn a living, and stay in the communities they love. JLG's School to Work program allows high school juniors and seniors local into its manufacturing facilities in McConnellsburg, Shippensburg, Bedford, Greencastle, and Chambersburg to earn school credit while working paid roles in welding, assembly, painting, fabrication, warehouse support, and more. I don't know where this is. Those places are. If you guys are, let me know. If you guys know where those places are. Just make a video of moving heavy equipment in the snow to baby it's cold. Baby it's cold outside. Yeah. Students receive real-world experience, mentorship, and the chance to transition into full-time roles after graduation. S2W Plus, an advanced extension of the program, places students in specialized roles like maintenance, robotics, machining, engineering, and testing for deeper technical exposure. Our School to Work program gives young people a real opportunity to help us rebuild the future of the skilled trades. Taslowski added in an announcement, these are students who want to work with their hands and solve real problems, but the classroom alone can't always give them the experience. That's true. Classroom is for theory only. You have to give them shop time. JLG also established a partnership with the Tennessee College of Applied Technology to integrate technical education and real-world factory experience. After campus visits, interviews, and plant tours, several students are now working part-time on JLG's maintenance team while attending school, rotating between first and second shift to learn from specialists across multiple disciplines. This is what the modern technical education should look like, Taslowski said in an announcement. Students are learning in class and applying it in real-world situations the same day. JLG is also investing in its current team members through its internal trainee program. JLG is helping current team members and new hires advance into high-demand skilled positions, particularly in areas like welding and industrial painting. The company's Weld Trainee program provides entry-level team members and external candidates with the opportunity to become certified welders. Participants complete 3 to 4 weeks of classroom and lab-based instruction, followed by 3 weeks of on-the-job training alongside experienced JLG welders. The Paint Trainee program is designed to develop industrial painters from within the workforce. Welding and painting require skill, safety, precision, and pride in craft. And these are often some of the most difficult roles in manufacturing to fill. Taslowski said in the announcement, instead of waiting for talent to come to us, we're choosing to grow it, building careers and strengthening our workforce for the future. JLG partners with trade associations, unions, training schools, and equipment rental providers to upskill craft professionals across North America in operating and servicing mobile elevating work platforms and telehandlers. These partnerships include organizations such as Associated Builders and Contractors, Association of General Contractors, Association of the Wall and Ceiling Industry, Mason Contractors, Association of America, Steel Erectors, regional apprenticeships, trade unions, community colleges, and correctional vocational programs. Through GLG University, the company delivers hands-on operator training, telehandler service instruction, and ANSI OSHA compliant safety education for thousands of workers each year, according to the announcement. We're not just preparing people for jobs, we're helping build meaningful careers, and doing so, we're helping strengthen the trades, the industry, and the communities we're proud to call home. Well, somebody's doing, and they're reaping the benefits. They're training them, and they have secured a pipeline for the workers to continue working at JLG. Like, these guys are smart. It's like, okay, we're going to make this learning program, but we're also going to take the people and put them into work at our place so that we don't suffer a shortage. They got it right. They have to fill classrooms with the equipment built in the 60s, refurbished in the 70s, and patched up in the 10s because that's what they'll actually be working on. Yes, fabric. It's like, hey, here's this thing. It's not state of the art. It's not brand new. There's no computer in it, but it's not starting. Get it to work. Fire it up. Get it going. Come on. You've had to re-engineer stuff made in the 40s because it finally broke and we don't have the tech to make a new one. Yep. I hear that, Godzillionaire. We got stuff from the 1960s at my place. And it's like, man, we still have to get stuff machined at a machine shop. We give them the thing here and it's like, here, can you guys make this for us? And it's like, they got to do that. You were talking to your buddy last week and he said his new manager wanted him to teach a new guy to TIG weld. By the end of the business, he was already has a new job. Yeah, this is how you TIG weld. Hey, where are you going? Man, that's crazy. Off he goes. Well, that's it there, fellas, for the articles. Next up, we have the new portion of the program, which is fatality investigations. Worksite fatality investigations. So this one, and I try to pick ones that are sort of relevant and maybe apply to all of us. This may happen. You never know. 40s to 70s was the golden age of machine design. Those things lasted forever and are still probably the best way to do what they do. Yep. I agree with you 100%, Godzillionaire. Our most reliable piece of equipment is a compressor from 1967. The thing is built like a tank. The access hatches are like 1 inch thick. You got to take those off to get in to the distance pieces. And they're, like I said, they're 1 inch thick steel. You're a better man than me. You would have pulled the Mortal Kombat fatality soundbite. Yeah. I don't want to be too cliche, you know. Finish him. Anyways, let's okay. A site technician was placing air sampling equipment in a high-risk lead containment where they were using walnut shells as blast media when they were observed in respiratory distress. The worker left the containment stated, "I can't breathe," and unsuccessfully attempted to use an inhaler. The worker then collapsed, was treated for cardiac arrest, and taken to the hospital where they later passed away. Yeah, back then it was throw more metal at it. We need something strong. Throw more. Okay, so the city of Edmonton was the owner of the fire hall and property built in 1949. The fire hall was used as river rescue, fire rescue, and training. It was designed to be decommissioned in 1997. After 2000, the fire hall was in use solely to store and launch Edmonton Fire Department rescue boat. City of Edmonton Council approved reopening of the fire hall building in 2014 and returned to operation in April of 2019. The prime contractor was Stanley. Contractor was ARS, Advanced Remediation Solutions, medium-sized business, established in 2004 with 20 employees. Involved the removal of asbestos and mold from residential and commercial buildings. Been contracted by Stanley to conduct the asbestos and lead remediation at the fire hall. Employer was ESP High-Tech, was a small Edmonton-based environmental engineering company with 5 employees, claiming decades of project experience. Company provided asbestos, mold, air monitoring, hazardous material assessments, and other services. ESP had been contracted by ARS to conduct occupational air sampling and testing. All right, let's see what happens here. The site technician, the fatally injured worker, was employed by ESP and had been working for approximately 2 months under the direction of a supervisor of ESP. The site technician had a background in plumbing and had been working towards becoming an occupational hygiene consultant. The air monitoring supervisor was employed by ESP and provided direct on-the-job training and supervision. The air monitoring supervisor had approximately 6 years of experience performing occupational hygiene consulting. The air monitoring supervisor accompanied the site technician into the containment at the time of the incident. Technician 1 was one of 2 tending workers supporting workers inside containment, employed by ARS at the time of the incident. Technician 1's primary task was monitoring the Graco Eco-Equip 2 vapor abrasive blast system, including feeding blast media into the machine. Technician 1 had approximately 3 months of experience and a background in the trades as a second-year electrician and fourth-year plumber. Technician 2 was the second of 2 tending workers employed by ARS. Technician 2's tasks were to be available directly outside containment to relay messages, provide tools, and provide assistance as required to inside workers. Technician 2 had approximately 3.5 years experience with ARS as a laborer and technician. The supervisor employed by ARS was one of 3 ARS abatement workers at the time of the incident. The supervisor was managing the blasting and cleanup of the lead remediation phase of the project. Supervisor had approximately 4 years experience in the company and was a trained asbestos abatement worker. The laborer was employed by Stanley as a general laborer at the work site. The laborer had approximately 3 months experience in the construction industry. The laborer provided first aid to the fatally injured worker at the time of the incident. The laborer was a trained emergency medical responder. Wow. All right, here we go. Equipment. The Graco Eco-Equip 2 vapor abrasive blast system. The system used water and walnut shells blast media to remove lead paint from the brick walls. The system was rented by ARS from Cooper Rentals in Edmonton. It was serviced August 31st at 747 hours. Was it real years of experience or resume user experience? We don't know, Fabric. The fact you can literally smell or inhale something and just die right there scares the crap out of you. That's a healthy fear to have, B17. It's the same in my industry. If you take a big inhale of H2S, or hydrogen sulfide, you'll be on the ground. And you may not come back up again. It's like... And then that's it. You're down on the ground. English walnut shells. 50-pound bags of walnut shells were used as blast media with the system. The blast media was used to remove lead paint from the interior brick walls and has only been in use for a day or 2. And they use walnut shells because it's eco-friendly. The residue shouldn't be hazardous to your health. But let's see what happened here. The high-risk containment enclosure had a 3-stage decontamination entrance-exit, 2 from the containment where the abrasive blasting took place. Okay, so it's all roped off. What do I work as? I'm a millwright. I install and repair heavy industrial equipment at a chemical plant. Okay, here's the sequence of events here. On October 2nd at approximately 3 p.m., the ESP air monitoring supervisor and site technician arrived at the fire hall. They were there to begin sampling for lead that was being removed from brick walls inside the fire hall. They spent 30 minutes discussing the project and reviewing videos on sampling, assessment, and training. Be it hazardous materials or European women, if you could smell it, you're already dead. So true. At approximately 3:30 p.m., the air monitoring supervisor and site technician donned personal protective equipment for the high-risk containment entry. Their PPE included Tyvek hooded coveralls, Tyvek booties, gloves, and half-mask respirators with P100 OV cartridges. They talked to the tending ARS workers and entered containment. The air monitoring supervisor and site technician then entered the containment through the three-stage decontamination facility and placed 2 area sampling pumps used to quantify general lead contamination in the air and 1 occupational pump used to quantify specific worker lead contamination in the air. This is a picture of inside the containment where the blasting was taking place. This must be one of the walls they were cleaning, the lead paint off. Aren't you supposed to do things before relying on PPE? So yes, and they did. As you can see, they've put up this containment area. So this is going to be their, the hierarchy of controls that we talked about last week. This is like physical barriers to keep people out and safe. Within minutes of entering the high-risk lead containment, the site technician informed the air monitoring supervisor that the site technician was beginning to feel unwell and exited the containment. There is the used blast media, or the old walnut shells, residue of the walnut shell blast media in the high-risk lead containment enclosure. So there it is there. There's the containment entry PPE and equipment left by the ESP worker after the incident, the site technician's hard hat, and one of the ESP worker's half-mask respirators. Workers from ARS and Stanley were made aware that the site technician was experiencing respiratory distress. The Stanley laborer provided first aid to the site technician in the parking lot immediately north of Fire Hall, and 911 was called. The site technician then collapsed and cardiopulmonary resuscitation was started. Edmonton Fire Services arrived on scene and assumed care. EMS arrived, took over care of the site technician, and then transported him to a hospital. It was determined that the site technician had experienced an anaphylactic reaction to the walnut shells media. The site technician remained in the intensive care unit until October 7th. The site technician was then taken off life support and passed away. A review of enforcement action was completed on July 10th, and it was determined that the file would be referred to Alberta Justice for review. Oh, somebody getting charged? The entire file was sent to Alberta Justice on March 7th. After a thorough review, Alberta Justice advised OHS on August 29th that charges were not recommended as the incident was unforeseeable. This investigation was closed August 29th, 2019. So there you go. It must be an allergy to nuts, but he had his mask on. But it must have entered some other way, through the eyes maybe, because it looks like they're only wearing half mask respirators, not full face. Yeah, if that's the case, just by stepping in there, it sounds like they didn't even get a chance to do any blasting with the media. He must not have known that he was allergic to walnut shells. Let's see. Okay, there is tree nut allergy, most common food allergy in both adults and children. Tree nuts include almonds, Brazil nuts, cashews, macadamia nuts, pistachios, walnuts. Okay. Nut dust on his lips And I'm you're not even trying to be dirty. Yeah, I guess it must have symptoms. Possible reactions from least severe to most severe: itching, hives, swelling, difficulty swallowing, sneezing, sensation, nausea, wheezing, breathlessness, going pale. Nut allergies are yeah, they are. Well, especially if he just walked into where they were, I guess just the residue. Yeah. Also, if you don't know if you have a nut allergy, find out somehow safely. Find out from a doctor or something to see if you do have a nut allergy. Because something like this, and it's not like he was a rookie. He was there for a while. It said, I'm pretty sure it said when they gave their description, site technician working for approximately 2 months. And he had a background in plumbing and working towards becoming an occupational hygiene consultant. So he was in the trades, with his background in plumbing. So he wasn't like a kid fresh out of high school or anything like that. At least it shouldn't have been. Everyone there had quite a bit of experience. And if you're going to use a blasting system for removing material, you should know what media it is you're using. I would have asked, what kind of media are we using? Are we using steel shot? Are we using, silicon carbide? Are we using sand? Are we using walnuts? So yeah, it was unforeseen that he was going to have that bad of a reaction to the blast media, the walnuts. But it doesn't look like you'd think they would have vacuumed them up at the end of the day. Like if they just entered for their shift, somebody should have swept them up or vacuumed them up or something like that. Whether they could do that. Yeah, and there's the half-mask respirator. Yeah. Anyways, this is why you're in favor of companies running full allergy panels on industrial employees? Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. Yeah, see if you can get yourselves checked out if you don't know if you have a nut allergy or not. Because things like this, completely avoidable. And if they would have been using something else, I mean, they did make a good, you can see they've got this place just completely covered. They could have used sand instead of walnuts. They could have used anything else. Steel shot. Maybe walnuts were more inexpensive. And it looks like they have a couple of air movers in here to keep the lead down. Oh, and there's a vacuum right there. They've got a shop vac right there. They could have sucked up all those walnut shells. Okay. Yeah, no, this was completely preventable, but it's not something you would look for, and maybe that's something they should ask their employees. Any known allergies, and then get checked out. If somebody says I don't know, then You have to find out somehow. But yeah, that was it. And that could happen to any one of us. That's why I picked this one, because it's a nut allergy. You know, somebody died because of walnuts on the job. Anyways, let's move along here. Why don't we move along to picture time, eh? It's picture time. It's picture time. Let's do that. And these pictures are going to be sort of relevant to the title of the stream. When silos overflow, you can probably guess what that's going to be about. Sure you guys are ready for a good old time. This is going back to my days working at the composting facility when we had to deal with human waste. It was treated human waste, but it was human waste nonetheless. And it was concentrated too. Your favorite part. There you go. Everybody likes picture time. Let's go like this. There we go. There's some Hokkaido gals. They're super adorable. If you haven't watched that, you should. Okay. What we're looking at here is a gearbox that has had the bolts have snapped off in it. So that's where they all go. And they hold that metal plate there. But yeah, a lot of torsion and a lot of torque has snapped them off. So there's the plate that goes on there. And yours truly had to try to fish those out of there. So usually do it with a screw extractor. You drill a hole, you smack the screw extractor in there and try to back out the stubs or whatever's left of the bolt, which can be infuriating. I was lucky though. Some of them came out just by a hammer and a little bit of a chisel. Snap off tools. Do not recommend. Yes, Godzillionaire. You know it. There they are there. A little bit of a close-up of them. This is the valve. There's the actuator, which is, I believe it was electric actuator to move the valve. The old Rotorx. Got to get some, and Godzilla will appreciate the camera flash on the tag, on the nameplate. You've never had much luck with easy outs, probably because it's Chinesium bolts. Well, there's different kinds of easy outs too, and we can look over that after we go through this. So there you go. It looks like I managed to get all of them out except for 2. And I replaced the bolts with some nice grade 8 bolts. I'm pretty sure there are. No, 10.9. Okay. 575 volt, you old Canadian, you. Yeah. Although the place I'm at now, we use nothing. We only use 480 where I'm at now. No 600 or anything like that. It's all 480 volt. But there you go. Out of all that struggle of trying to get 8 of them out of there, I got 6 of them in, and I couldn't get the other 2 out. So I put in some 10.9 grade bolts and called it good. And there you are there. There's the actuator, this gray part here, this thing here, the electric actuator. And it spins this up here, which opens this giant 12-inch valve. This thing is huge. Look at all the bolts on it. This thing, that's like a class 600 flange. Like it is freaking enormous. At 10.9, you ain't breaking by accident? Nope, not at all. That's why I got them. Okay. Something from Nordgear. That's the auger gearbox, it looks like. I think it's somebody labeled it there. The silo auger gearbox. Hey, look. It's the top of a silo. There's the top of the silo. There's the lid. There's the other silo. And look at that. It's human waste. Somebody left the pump running and they pumped the silo so full that it started coming out of the hatch. So there's the one silo. You can see where the hatch is. Denoid, Domino's old mascot. Yeah. I remember Denoid. So there's your hatch. Not held down by anything. It just sits there. But on the other one, they pumped so much human waste in there. And this stuff is solid. And it came out pouring out the top. And it poured out so much that it fell down onto the roof of the part of the roof below it. You don't have shut-off sensors on the poop silos? Nope. It's either that or the guys ignored it when they were saying how full it was. They thought it might be giving a false reading, but it wasn't. And so it filled up and spilt over onto the top of the roof, which the operators then had to come down and clean. They had to clean that roof off because you got a lot of weight on there. Stuff is heavy. That silo has a turtle head poking out. Yeah. Looks like a job for the intern. Yeah. There we are. There's another shot there. I think I tried varying the flash on the camera. So I went down and got another picture closer. So this is a big mound. Like, this is going to take hours to remove. When your silo has Taco Bell the night before. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Just a mound of human waste. Just the poop is everywhere. Yep. But yeah, this is terrible. This is what happens when guys don't pay attention to their jobs. Hope you're upwind to that photo. It doesn't matter, Godzilla. It's all around you. It doesn't matter. Upwind, downwind, sidewind, crossways. You're getting it everywhere. It was the dump. I mean, the place stank. And this is concentrated human waste. So it's been dewatered. So there is not a lot of moisture in it. It's almost like consistency of Jell-O. It shakes. And it's heavy. And I'm glad I just had to take a picture of it to laugh about it because I wasn't the one grabbing a shovel. I'm like, yep, you know what? Looks like you guys are in for some work. Side note, do I watch Landman? I don't know what that is, Godzillionaire. I don't know what Landman is. But I hope you enlighten me. Also, inside the silo building, we had these fans to get foul air out of the building. And I believe this was also a makeup. It was a makeup air unit, so it would heat the air. That's right. This was for making a makeup area. The fans would draw out exhaust and stuff from the trucks that would get filled. And this would heat the air up and put it back into the building. So, makeup air fan. Just getting a shot of it. Honestly, if you can believe it, I had to crawl in there to to grease bearings. They didn't have a grease zerk on them. that I could reach easily, so I had to climb inside and grease the other side and then grease this side that you could get at the doorway. There's the other side. I even took a picture showing that there's no access on the other side. You've got a giant I-beam here and no access. Should watch Landman about oil field workers. Last episode, they had an H2S leak and how much panic the Roughnecks had when their sensors went off. Oh, yes. Yep. Yeah, they really, when I go to, like, even I have to take H2S courses every 3 years, just as a refresher. And yeah, the guy that's teaching the class is just flabbergasted when I tell him that we make 99.9% pure H2S and in liquid form. It's almost always in a gas form, but we make it into it's a liquid form. We can use liquid, and it just blows our mind. But we are actually extremely careful about having H2S leaks where I'm at. We have plenty of SCBAs everywhere, and we have lots of gas monitors everywhere. And anytime there is the hint of a leak, we find it and take care of it. What else I got on here? Another shot of that. There's another shot of the makeup air unit. It's another shot of the top of it. There's another shot from the side of it, just to show how crowded it is or cramped it is in there. Dudes were in an open field. H2S sensors go off, and the sheer panic was real. Well, yeah, and don't forget they'll go off at 10 ppm. I guess depending on which jurisdiction they're in. 10 parts per million. You're going to smell it before that. Before it gets to 10 parts per million, you're going to smell the H2S. Maybe at like 1 part or half a part. So they should have smelled the rotten eggs before they even had their sensors go off. You typically don't have to worry until it gets up to about 100 or around 500 when I think you'll lose consciousness. So you do have a range, but you got to get out of there. You've got to have your emergency hood with you, which they should have had. They should have had some emergency hoods with them or something, some escape hoods. You put those on and you get out. Or you put on your SCBA or your escape pack and you get out. I think I was looking at some... Oh yeah, this is when I had to try to repair some leaking hydraulics. I think it looks like it's missing. Looks like it's missing a couple of O-rings. In the same building though. This is all in the same building. In the silo building. Okay, yeah, that one's broken. See, that's one there is helping hold up like a backup ring. That one's broken. You just need a backup ring. What kind of pressures are these guys at? You know what? I thought these were around 3,000 psi because they move this ram right here. This ram, I know it doesn't look like one, but it's right there. And it moves. Here it is. Here's another shot of it. The ram here. It's what helps move the human waste into the trucks below. So it moves back and forth, and that pushes the human waste into the trucks below. So yeah, I think it's about 3,000 psi. I'll have to look and see if I got a picture of that. 3,000 psi and broken seals is scary. Yeah, Most of the time, it's installation. I don't think I have one though. No, I didn't get any pictures of the actual power pack. But yeah, most of the time it's installation, and it's just somebody not knowing how to properly install the seals, whether they haven't lubed them up properly or whether they've had them folded over, or if they cut it as they're putting it on. Any number of things can happen as they're doing an install. So you have to be quite, be careful. Make sure you lubricate your seals and lubricate the part you're putting them on so they slide on easily and won't get cut. And then even when you're putting them in, you have to be careful. Look for sharp edges. Make sure you're not going to cut them on installation, because that will be your downfall. You'll have leaks, and you don't want leaks. Anyways, you guys got to see the overflowing silo of human waste. That's there you go. That's what happens. You took one hydraulics training class and was like, nope, I'll stick with belts and shivs and VFDs. Yep. Yeah, because if you if you have a weak stomach, don't look up hydraulic injection trauma or hydraulic injection accident, because that's what can happen with hydraulics. They are so high pressure, they will cut right into you, and then the oil will eat away all the fats in your hand and eventually make its way to your heart, and you'll die. Which is why if there ever is an accident like that, time is of the essence, where you have to get to a hospital immediately. Hydraulics more of an art than science. Let's see. Oh, yes. I did want to look up one thing there for a Godzillionaire. All right, let's go back to here. And I looked up types of screw extractors. And do some images here. So you guys can see the types of screw extractors. That should be okay. Is that big enough? You've got spiral fluted extractors. You've got straight fluted extractors. You've got bolt removers. The tapered ones, you have to be careful with. I think those ones I have the most trouble with. The fluted ones I have a lot of trouble with because they don't have enough grabbing force. The spiral ones have better grabbing force. But there's also straight cut ones, and those are... I don't use those exact ones. I have a set of rigid ones, I believe. Let's have a look here. Rigid. Yes, I did mean rigid. Is that it? Yeah, I have used this kind before, where it has the whole, it's the entire length, and you just use these little hex pieces to slide over so you can get really close, or you can set the distance away. So that's all right. It's on Amazon. Oops. That crappy pack of 4 off Amazon you got, they never worked. I want to find the ones I'm using now. Where are they? Oh, I think, is this them? Yeah, this is them right here. Pipe extractors. This is kind of like what I have right now. I use on some of them. Yep, a good spiral extractor is the way to go. Anything else and you'll be there all damn day. These ones are okay. These are good pipe extractors. Never say oops when waifus show up on screen. Good old waifus. Yeah, I thought they were a little bit different. But yeah, get ones that are have spiral flutes, or get a straight cut one. You definitely want to get as much grip as possible. Oh, there we are. This one here. These are the ones I have right now. I am human. That's not it. What a ridiculous. Anyways, you guys can see that. So it's got a little stumpy spiral end to it, but it's got a nice beefy end here. I think it uses a 1/2-inch wrench. These ones seem to be okay. That 4-pack Home Depot Milwaukee, those suck. Good to know. Yeah, I think Milwaukee is overrated. I think you're paying for the name. I'm not going to buy Milwaukee just because it's Milwaukee. So yeah, so watch out for these ones, guys. These ones here, not necessarily drill hog, but just this design, you have it's just giving you a hard time. You won't have very much success with these guys. Scroll up. Which one's Godzilla? What are we talking about here? These ones here, the Milwaukee ones. I wouldn't even try these. It looks like they fit inside a impact gun. Second from the left. Yeah, these ones here. Home Depot. Yeah. Nope. I would never use these. You'll pick up older Milwaukee at garage sales, but nothing over the year 2000. That's right. Usually the older stuff's so better, eh? Yes, those suck. I didn't even need you to tell me that, Godzillionaire. I looked at him and it's just like, this is terrible. First of all, don't put it in an impact. Like, that's what it looks like this detente is here for. To put it into a tool, a hand or a power tool. First of all, don't do that. All your screw extraction should be done by hand. That way you get a feel for it. You need to get that the right feel for whether it's slipping or whether you're going to break it. If you use it in a power tool, they're going to snap and you're going to be in even bigger trouble then. So always do your screw extraction by hand. You're going to drill the hole. You're going to put the screw extractor in. You're going to hammer it in. But then get a wrench that's the right size and just put enough pressure on it so you can get a feel for it. And this takes practice and experience. And yeah, you might break some, but It's your feel you want to get for it, and you can feel if it's going to turn, if it's going to not turn, if it's biting, if it's not biting enough. You got to do it, and I'm a big proponent of using hand tools over power tools, especially for screw extraction. Get a feel for it, and then you'll have more success being able to get the stuff out of there. They don't snap, it just wallers are with the head of the bolt and screw more. Yeah, okay. I would still go by hand. Don't, this is it. eBay. I don't have as many, but that looks like the screw extractor set I got for the shop. You can fine-tune the torque by hand. Exactly. Use an impact and you're replacing that whole part. Yep. Exactly. You have no control. But these are the ones I use, and I've had a very good success with these so far. I'm very impressed with these. Can I just open up the image? There we go. Yeah, look at that. They've got the spiral going on. I'm going to zoom in more. They've got the spiral on them. It even tells you on the body what drill size to use. You take them, hammer them in, and then you get your wrench that goes on here. And it looks like they're pretty consistent on the small ones. You're going to use the same size wrench up until maybe here, and then you're going to switch over to a larger one. And then once that's done, you can get a feel for it by hand. And as you are able to remove the screw or bolt or whatever it might be. And don't forget, maybe use a little bit of lube on it, on the bolt itself, and hopefully that'll help free it up. You have to think to yourself, why did it snap in the first place? That's another thing. People don't think. It's like, oh, think to yourself, why did this bolt snap in the first place? What's going on that caused it to snap, and whether it's going to be easy to remove or not. Is it going to be easy? Did it snap? Why did it snap? Is it something pushing against it? Is it holding two parts together that are like crushing each other? You're going to have a hard time then. But just remember, drill the hole as deep as you can, and make sure it's as centered as you can get it. Always use a center punch and hammer. Then drill it as far down as you can go. And then get one of these guys. Use the biggest one you can get away with. Someone clip that. Maybe use a little bit of lube on it. Pop 2025. Yeah, just a little bit. But use the biggest one you can get away with. That way you'll have better grip. And you're not going to risk maybe snapping it. Don't use the smallest one. Use the one that's as big as you can get away with. Those are my tips for you guys about bolt extraction. You can even use a crescent with that set because you don't have to worry about slipping. The set is better than mine because mine's a hex. Okay. Yeah. I just say use the right size wrench because you can use the box end and that'll help out. You don't have to have an open end wrench on it. You can get a box end and you can use that instead. A little more grip on all corners. But yeah, that's my hints for bolt extraction. Seeing as how we were talking about that earlier. It can be it can feel pretty good after you've managed to remove anything that's been snapped off, or you can feel the taste of defeat as you can't get out that one bolt. You can also get left-handed drills, which some people use as well. When you're drilling the hole, it'll drill in the opposite direction and hopefully grab onto it and back it out for you as you're drilling into it. So there's that way to do it as well. Maybe a little less common. Maybe people don't think about that, but that's also another possibility. So yeah, remember, buy good quality tools and they won't let you down. Buy garbage tools and you're either going to get hurt or they're going to break on you and you're going to be out of luck. So buy good quality if you can, or get the best you can get at the time. Maybe nowadays quality isn't so great in every one of them, but try your best to get the best quality. Especially if it's on a hard to replace part because it isn't made anymore. Exactly, fabric. You know it. That's right. Well, I think that's all I got for you tonight, fellas. A little bit of bolt extraction with yours truly. If you have any more questions on that, feel free, send them along. I'm always available on my Discord. Believe it or not, I have a Discord. I do participate in it. Where is it now? You can ask all sorts of things. I know some of you guys are on my Discord. I always have a hard time finding my Discord stuff. Hey, what's up, DJ Ronnie G? There's my Discord right there. You guys want to join? Feel free. Go ahead. We talk about all sorts of stuff on Discord. It's not just trades. You'll find out about my upcoming streams as well. Go to garage sales. You'll surprised what you can find. Oddly enough, also pawn shops. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pawn shops. I never thought of that, but yeah, garage sales for sure. You know, estate sales. People are, they're clearing out their dad's garage or whatever. He's got tools. You can go in and, you can clean up and get some good tools, good quality ones from way back when they made good stuff. Good to see you, DJ. Hope you'll have a good time rewatching here. I'm just kind of wrapping things up now. Speaking of which, I haven't seen David in a while. Hope he's doing okay. If you guys see David Glenn around, say hi to him for me. I haven't seen him around in a while. If you think your YouTube AVI was glued, your Discord AVI is worse. Yeah, but it's Discord. But I should thank everybody here, like people like B17 and Fabric Folds, Godzillionaire. Who else was here? Aris was here. It's nice to see you, Aris. And then in the home stretch, it was DJ Ronnie G. It's always good to see you, DJ. Hope you had a good time at work. Now you're off. You think he's taking an internet break? Okay. No, that's fine. If you guys can do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Even leave a comment on the video after it's done. Man, my views have really taken a dive here, so I'm just like, ooh. I'm not too crazy about this, but it's probably YouTube, suppressing me and my views. Kind of miss old David. Yeah, me too. He's always good for a laugh, and he always asked pertinent questions and such. You took the day off. That's why you forgot I was on. Oh, well, you know what? Enjoy your days off when you can get them. I know mine. I've booked off between Christmas and New Year's, so I don't have to go into work between Christmas and New Year's. It's going to be great. I'm going to love not having to go into work. I take 4 days off, and I'm off for 11 days, so that's awesome. I don't have to worry about, honestly, it's so dead going into work between Christmas and New Year's. Nobody's around. Skeleton crews everywhere, and vendors they're all taking their holidays, so hey, why not? Yeah, Fabric, days off are rare. Enjoy them. Yes, make the most of them. Have some of that me time you need. You don't always have to be, the office guy. Well, coming up, guys, today's Tuesday, so coming up Saturday, I'm playing more Odin Sphere for the PlayStation 2. And let me tell you, this game looks absolutely beautiful. It looks like it has an excellent story, like a very deep story. And I'm even listening to the Japanese voice actors for it. So stop on by and I'll work my way through some more Odin Sphere and see what's going to happen in this story. I'm quite invested in it. It's a very good story. And then on Sunday, it's Sunday Anime Chat. And the theme of the month is the year in review. So last week I did the winter season of 2025. This week is going to be spring. So stop on by and we'll talk about all the shows, or the shows that I actually watched during spring that I thought were very enjoyable and worth watching and suggesting to people. My last anime stream was pretty good. Oh, thanks, Fabric. Appreciate that, man. I do what I can, If you guys want to see anything else or anything different or want me to try something, just let me know. I'm just doing what I think is right here. doing my thing, right? But yes, it's going to be springtime, and I know there was some pretty good ones. I got a list here. Let's check my list here. Spring anime. Oh yeah, Witch Watch was on there. Beginning After the End, Country Bumpkin, Brilliant Healer, Sword of the Demon Hunter, Evil Lord of Intergalactic Empire, Go-Go Loser Ranger, The Two Perfect Saint, Once Upon a Witch's Death, Satsutabi, Catch Me at the Ballpark. So there's a lot of good ones for spring. I was really enjoying spring. So stop on by and I'll showcase a few of them. We'll also go over the anime news of the week, of course. And then we'll see, I'll go over the present season and which shows I'm watching. And we're getting towards the end, so it's, we're getting down to 2-3 episodes left. Then finally, we're back at Tuesday again, more trades talk. And, more of the same. We'll look at things from an industrial point of view. We'll have some, chat about what's going on in the news out there, and we'll see some more pictures and videos. You still argue that 100 Girlfriends should have been with the sports month? If you guys haven't seen 100 Girlfriends, do it. It is hilarious. It is so funny. Very enjoyable. You guys, you'll have a good old time just watching 100 Girlfriends. Jesus, where is the year gone? I know, eh? Blink and it's gone. Pretty crazy. But don't forget, when I'm not on, you can watch other people. So you might want to poke your head in and say hello to Pacific 4 and 4. Tell them old Pop sent you. And of course, our very own DJ Ronnie G, he's in the chat. You can always check him out. He's got his Monday show on Thursday. Saturday mornings, you can watch the Brandon, the anime guy, and his Anime 101. Then there's Carl at the RNG podcast. Everyone's favorite penguin, Punk Waddle. Got to tune into him once in a while and see what the old sheriff's up to. There's Infinite Metal. He's on Kick and Twitch, and he's very entertaining. He plays a lot of retro games, and man, he's funny as hell. You'll have a funny, you'll laugh if you watch Infinite Metal. And then there's Call Me Kixie. She's a VTuber on Twitch, and she's very family friendly, a very warm and welcoming person there. And you can watch her play indie games and just have a good old time. She's very chatty, so you're definitely going to have a good old time. And yeah, like I said, she's family friendly, so you don't have to worry about the kids walking in when you're talking to Kixie. Yes, DJ, turtles. You got tech, turtles, and astronomy. So make sure you tune into DJ Ronnie G. He's our go-to guy for the tech. Well, that's going to be it for me tonight, fellas. I hope you had a fun time. I had fun. We'll talk more about the industrial things in life here the next time on Trades Talk. But I hope to see you guys the next time I'm streaming, which will be on the weekend. Tune in at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, Saturday and Sunday. I'm always here just doing my thing. And I hope to see you then. Until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.